Steve Smith kissed the badge on his helmet, as decorum demands, then thumped the badge on his chest. It was an appropriate one too. Australia's captain had thrown body and soul into an Ashes innings for the ages, rousing his side and deflating England. Truly, this has been a gripping first test. By the time Australia's last man Nathan Lyon was out for 9, Smith had made 141 runs of the highest class and character. At 209 for 7, Australia's unassailable record at the Gabba was looking distinctly assailable. At 328 all out, they led by 26. On such innings do series hinge. And its value went up another notch when, with England's second innings not yet 4 overs old, Alastair Cook hooked Josh Hazlewood to fine leg, where Mitchell Starc judged a tumbling catch to perfection. Steve Smith produced a magnificent innings scoring 141 runs as the Australia captain helped his country gain the initiative. Smith's innings proved the difference between the two sides as he scored the slowest Test century of his career off 261 balls. Smith was pumped up as he wrestled back the initiative from England with a captain's performance for Australia at the Gabba. Australia then gained the early wicket of Alastair Cook for just 7 runs, with Josh Hazlewood claiming the prize scalp. The pumped-up Hazlewood celebrates after Cook hooked and was caught by Mitchell Starc at fine leg. Cook can only look on in dismay as Hazlewood celebrates an important breakthrough in England's second innings. Hazlewood then claimed the wicket of James Vince for 2 runs as England wobbled at the start of their second innings. Steve Smith is mobbed after taking the catch that removed James Vince off the bowling of Josh Hazlewood, left. Related articles previous. 1 next. Ashes 2017, live, Australia vs England, first test, day 3. Australia would have been happy with the early start on day. Joe Root was brilliant on his first day in the field as Jake Ball happy with England's bowling approach as Joe. Steve Smith is simply remarkable. The Bradman-esque Ashes test matches at the Gabba are meant to be about. Share this article. Share script dm.later, bundle, function, if, dm.rotator, new dm.rotator, p32, pages eyes, 1, page count, 1.0, active class, active, rotate, false, $, number p32.big share, .on, click, function, dms.facebook.post top, related. Style.opta widget container h2 background color number 0 cac 0c, font weight bold, text transform uppercase, .opta widget container .c underscore scorecard max height 640 px, overflow y auto, .opta widget container .c underscore scorecard table theod th, .opta widget container .c underscore scorecard table .light theod th background color number 0 cac 0c, color number fff. .opta widget container .c underscore scorecard table .left width 36%, .opta widget container .c underscore scorecard table tfoot td background color number b6 fab 6, script var underscore. Opta params equals custid, F6683D6C2DD3880332B1279C82F955 of 9. The dismissal had shades of Cook's fatal flap at Mitchell Johnson at Adelaide 4 years ago. But by then England were mentally done and dusted, already on the brink of going 2-0 down. This time, there is a game up for grabs. Having watched Smith leave everything short until he was into 3 figures, Cook was unable to resist the bouncer. It will not be a shot he dwells on in his dotage. Worse, it got Australia's tails up, and England still trailed by 9 when Hazlewood squared up James Vince, who could only edge to that man Smith at second slip, his first innings 83 a distant memory. As so often, the Gabattoir smelled the blood of several Englishmen. In roared Starc to land a horrible blow on the helmet of Joe Root, yet to score and understandably rattled. The sight of David Warner scurrying over to offer his condolences was confirmation that Australia spied their chance. It was the scenario Smith had spent the previous 8.5 hours constructing. England had not bowled badly, far from it. They restricted Australia to 48 runs in a morning session which produced 3 wickets, and all told kept them to 2.51 runs an over. Since England themselves had attracted opprobrium from the local media for scoring at 2.58 during their first innings 302, this was a moral victory of sorts. But it's real victories that interest Root's side, and Smith's tour de force was spoiling their fun. For much of the day, the Australian reply looked as if it would die a slow death. Stuart Broad outthought Shaun Marsh with a slower delivery in the sixth over of the morning, before he and Jimmy Anderson each struck in the first 2 overs with the second new ball. Tim Paine caught behind off Anderson for 13, Stark caught and bowled by Broad for 6. Shortly before lunch, Australia were 7 down and still 93 behind. Not since 2003-04 against India had they conceded a first innings lead here. England prepared to create a small slice of history. Instead, Pat Cummins knuckled down, and Smith buckled up. As they had done rather more successfully against Warner on the second evening, England tried to dry Smith up, either hanging the ball outside off stump or sending it over his head. Stuart Broad reacts as Steve Smith brings up his century during the third day of the opening Ashes Test in Brisbane. Steve Smith laps up the acclaim of a packed Gabba crowd at the end of Australia's first innings after his unbeaten 141. Stuart Broad celebrates after claiming first wicket of day 3 as Shaun Marsh leaves the field after his innings of 51. Alastair Cook, Johnny Bairstow and David Mallon celebrate after taking the wicket of Australia's Pat Cummins for 42 runs. James Anderson shows the strain as he leaves the field at the change of innings during day 3 of the first test in Brisbane. Smith had scored only 17 before lunch, but waited for England to get bored, which they inevitably did in the Brisbane heat. Anderson, who invited speculation over his fitness by leaving the field, speculation the ECB played down, gave nothing away, and nor did Broad. At tea, their combined figures were a heroic 50-20-91-5. But with the ball going soft, the pitch yielding little and Moeen Ali contributing just 4 overs in the middle session, Australia dragged their way back into the game. By the time Smith eased Broad, going round the wicket, through extra cover for 4 to move to 103, he had completed the slowest of his 21 Test hundreds, and possibly the most impressive. Since scoring the first of them at the Oval in 2013, he has reached 3 figures at a rate of 1 every 4 innings, averaging 70 in the process. He is the world's best batsman, no question. Chris Woakes lifted English spirits when Cummins edged low to Cook at the solitary slip to depart for a Test best 42. But Australia were only 27 in arrears now, and Hazlewood helped his captain knock off 24 of them before playing round a straight one from Moeen. England captain Joe Root was struck on the helmet by a fierce Mitchell Starc bouncer during the early stages of his innings. Starc was quick to go up to Root and check on his condition after the ball kicked up ferociously and struck him on the helmet. The England medical staff were quick to come on and ensure Root was fit to continue after taking the head blow. Hazlewood is bowled by Moeen Ali as England mopped up the Australian tail in a laboured fashion in Brisbane. Alastair Cook at first slip takes a low catch to remove Nathan Lyon, the final Australian wicket, off the bowling off Joe Root. Moeen Ali celebrates taking the wicket of Josh Hazlewood for 6 as Australia established a first innings lead of 26. Steve Smith ducks a bouncer bowled by Stuart Broad as England tried unsuccessfully to remove the Australian captain. Chris Woakes celebrates after taking the wicket of Pat Cummins, who dug in to score 42 from 139 balls to frustrate England. James Anderson jumps for joy after snaring the wicket of Tim Paine, who edged to wicket-keeper Johnny Bairstow. Stuart Broad celebrates with his England teammates after dismissing Mitchell Starc caught and bowled for 6 runs. Broad dives low to his right to take the catch to remove Tim Paine off his own bowling. Paine had scored 13 runs. James Anderson and Steve Smith exchange words as England's bowlers tried to remove the in-form Australian captain. Australia were not finished yet, and Smith, increasingly inventive since ticking off his 100, persuaded a further 30 runs from Lyon and the last wicket. One pull off Woakes was simply dismissive. Root showed what he thought of it all, wrapping things up when Lyon tickled one of his gentle off-breaks to Cook at leg slip, but as England left the field the force was with Australia. As the world knows by now, they have not lost at Brisbane since West Indies turned them over in 1988-89, and they did not intend to start now. Mark Stoneman began by cutting Hazlewood for 4, and Cook collected 4 controlled runs to third man off Stark. But Hazlewood, who had a quiet first innings, now got in on the act, and it needed some defiant defence from Stoneman and Root to stave off more damage before the close. England, 7 ahead, are down but not yet out. Ever heard the one about the crucial first hour? Tune in tomorrow for the latest fascinating installment. Cricket fans cool down at the Gabba's pool deck in sunny Brisbane as the action unfolds behind them. The swimming pool at the Gabba certainly proved a welcome distraction from the drama unfolding on the field. Related articles previous. 1 next. Ashes 2017, live, Australia vs England, first test, day 3. Australia would have been happy with the early start on day. Joe Root was brilliant on his first day in the field as Jake Ball happy with England's bowling approach as Joe. Steve Smith is simply remarkable. The Bradman-esque Ashes test matches at the Gabba are meant to be about. Share this article. Share script dm.later, bundle, function, if, dm.rotator, new dm.rotator, p85, page size, 1, page count, 1.0, active class, active, rotate, false, $, number p85. Big share, .on, click, function, dms.facebook.post top, related.